What's surprising in this game is that Price, who's getting very good protection, is not going further downfield with the ball. Last week they completed 8 passes against Holmes for 214 yards, 26.7 yards of completion, and so far all we've really seen is a lot of the dump-off variety passes.
And neither team having any luck with third down conversions. Johnny Bailey first down to the 40-yard line of Permian, and he is far and away the leading rusher in the ball game for both sides. Blake Batt, the rover, made the tackle.
The linebacker for Odessa Permian comes flying through that Salcido. They just let him come on a trap, and they run outside of it. Big gain, Bailey.
Bailey reminds me of those USC tailbacks.
I'm sure USC will ask about him. They always ask about everybody else who can run the football.
I'm sure they've seen film on him. Lawrence King takes it back to the inside down to about the 37-yard line. The defensive end, Troy Baker, came up with a stop, been in on a lot of defensive tackles so far here in the first half of play.
It just amazes me every time I see 62 LeClaire playing at 161 pounds amongst all these tall trees.
All right, could Yates take it in and take the lead? 3:50 to go in the quarter. Wide open. Smith, 25-20, out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Quentin Smith made the catch. The right corner, Robert Williams, made the stop on Smith, but there he comes back to the huddle. Number 83, remember he was open earlier for what would have been a sure touchdown.
A missed tackle here, something Permian seldom does, really is going to come back to haunt him. The defensive back, Allman, had the line on Smith at about the 27. That's a big 15 extra yards that Smith got.
Good shoestring tackle, or Bailey might have gone. There was nobody back there.
No might have. He was gone. If they don't get Bailey at the line of scrimmage, there wasn't anybody else home. They were bringing the linebackers and doubling the wides. There was no safety back there to make the tackle.
It was Patrick Wilson, number 35, who saved the touchdown with that ankle tackle at the 12-yard line. Second down, 9 yards to go. Yates threatening for the second time in the game. They missed a 29-yard field goal earlier in this quarter. Price back to throw. For Smith, off his hand, a bit overthrown in the end zone.
It really does surprise me that Yates hasn't done more of the option play in this game. They worked it once early going right, which would be the direction they'd run it here to the wide side, and it worked for over 10 yards with Bailey. This is a good spot for the option. You could string Permian out at this point, but then again, when you look back at the passes they've thrown down here, the receivers were open.
Have been open. Third down, 9 yards to go at the 12-yard line of Odessa Permian. Still no score in the game, late second quarter. Price looking right, sends out 4 receivers, too long, incomplete in the end zone. Again, Yates will probably have to settle for a field goal attempt. Well, Price, as you pointed out, Norm, is getting the receivers open, but he's just not finding the mark.
Here comes a couple of people for Yates, but I don't know if, they brought the shoe on for Smith. That's the key.
There's Smith kneeling right now and getting ready for the field goal try. Let's see, this one about the same distance as before. He does not have much of an angle to work with, and Yates will take a timeout here. They want to talk things over before this field goal try.
It's one of the problems of your split end being your kicker. You got to get his shoe on, and by the time you change shoes, you got to take a timeout.
Okay, let's pause for a moment here.
That they can threaten their defense. They haven't done it so far, and in fact, hardly anybody around the state has done it this year. Can you imagine playing 15 5A schools and allowing 5.1 points per game? That's outrageous. That's so far and away an outrageous statistic that you call and you ask, listen, is this a typo?
Actually, Permian's defense isn't far behind that. They're averaging what? They're giving up 5.9 per game.
Well, you can see, you come in with 2 offenses averaging Permian around 33, Yates around 41, and what you wind up is a 3-0 game 18 minutes into it. The defenses on these two teams are pretty good.
They sure are. All right, here's the kickoff. And it'll will be taken by number 14 for Permian, Scott Irwin. Irwin back to the 27, maybe the 28-yard line. Now let's see if Permian opens it up here on first down.
If they're going to open it up, the one player to open up their offense is the wide receiver, Greg Anderson. He caught 65 balls this year. He caught 70 last year. Another bit of warning here. Talked to John Wilkins yesterday. He has a trick play. A wide receiver around with Anderson, and Anderson can throw the football. He started out as a quarterback. Ooh, see a little change in lineup already. Double wide receivers right for Permian.
That's Lauterbach at the top of the screen in the slot. But they will give it instead to Marcus Lott. And with Yates softening up defensively a little bit to look out for the pass, Permian picks up some yardage, but there is a flag down back near the line of scrimmage, and the Panthers are already backing up, and here's the indication holding against Odessa Permian.
Ooh, tough penalty here to take. Now, you got some decisions to make philosophically if you're Permian. It's first down, you're back in your own territory, first and long, there's only 2:50 to go on the clock. Permian would probably just as soon get this half over with and be down 3-0 from this spot on the field. They're going to get the ball to start the second half. Don't expect Permian, which lives on being smart, not on being big and tough. Don't expect them to do anything stupid here. It would really surprise me if Permian didn't simply run the ball 3 times here, grind this clock down under a minute, and say, hey, take it back, let's get this half over with.
First down, 20 yards to go, and they do keep it on the ground. Sider on the draw play, and he loses another couple of yards. Maurice Hobson, the 225-pound left tackle, with a big hit. And that's exactly what Permian is doing, Norm. 2:17, 2:16. Yates still has 2 timeouts left. Permian has not used one in the first half.
Imagine the status of Maurice Hobson when he comes back next year to Yates. He's the only returning starter. 21 other guys, the other 10 guys you see on defense, and all 11 offensive players, all graduate.
If he's not named a team captain, he'll be upset. Second down and long. Again, it's on the ground. Bryant wrapped up just as he gets the handoff near the 14-yard line. Chris Gardner and Greg Garrett with some sure-handed tackling on Bryant at the 14, and Permian is going backwards. And now Yates is going to take a timeout, and that's a smart move on the Houston Schools' part with 1:39 to go in the second quarter. They want to get the ball back.
This is senior defensive tackle Garrett. Gets hit and then bumped by 2 other people, sheds everything, and gets right in on the ball carrier. You know, Garrett's an example of a kid who may not get a major college offer, but he'll go someplace and play. Just about everybody you see on the field from Yates today will play somewhere next year. That's unlike Odessa. Please, nothing against these people, but there aren't a lot of people breaking down the doors of a 161-pound defensive lineman. As opposed to Yates, there are some marvelous athletes here, but you're seeing the 2 types of football teams that Texas produces. Inner city, struggle financially, great athletes against suburban, money, well-coached, tremendous discipline, wonderful facilities. And funny, isn't it, how often, Ray, the final game matches teams like this?
Well, I must admit, Norm, I've never heard Odessa described as suburban, but Dallas-Fort Worth is getting bigger all the time, though, so maybe...
Yeah, they're the outside of that.
Or they're going toward El Paso. Third down and 24 yards to go, and the ball is in the air, incomplete at the 20-yard line. It was tipped and very nearly picked off by the Yates Lions. Number 63, Kenneth Payne, almost got the deflection.
Oh, mistake here. Mistake here by Yates. I mean a major mistake by Yates. You're going to see Lauterbach make a great play here for Permian. Watch him come in after this play,